Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I suspect that pretty soon the NATO countries fighting the Russians on the territory of Ukraine will not send any more, how should I put it, new or sophisticated weapons. They haven't been anyway, but unfortunately they send the Storm Shadow missile. The Russians got it because it was, remember they got one that was partially damaged but almost intact. They found the Leopard 2 tanks, they found the Bradleys, and now they found some Swedish infantry fighting vehicles. So when the Abrams are gonna be destroyed or just, how do you call it, left behind by the Ukrainians, then what? But unfortunately for the Ukrainians and fortunately for Russians, the Americans don't dare to send their most advanced tank because of this exact reason. They will get captured. Why? Because the Ukrainians will leave them behind. So let's look at this article where the Russians are bragging about capturing a Swedish infantry fighting vehicle. So a modern one, made in 2018, I think. Sputnik. Russian forces seized Swedish CV90 infantry fighting vehicle in special operations zone for the first time. This is obviously a new one, that's not it, but it looks like this. The combat vehicle 90, CV90, is a family of combat vehicles that have been in service in Swedish Army since 1993. These vehicles are equipped with a Bofors 40mm automatic gun L/70 and their armor protects against 30mm APFS-SDS. Russian servicemen captured a Swedish CV90 infantry fighting vehicle during a battle with the Ukrainian military outside Krasny Liman. Alright, I'm going to show you where Krasny Liman is, just 1 second. So Krasny Liman is right here, in this area right here. Where is it? Right here. See? Krasny Liman, ram pam pam. Here it is. So supposedly in this area they captured the fighting infantry vehicle. Let's go back to not this one actually. Let's go to these ones. How about that? We got Trump. Where is he? Hello. Okay. So this is the first vehicle to have been taken as a trophy by the Russian military in a special military operation zone, a Sputnik correspondent reports. The first vehicle to have been, okay, more to come. More than 500 of these IFVs are in service in Sweden. Sweden announced in February that it would deliver 50 of these vehicles to Ukraine. On July 7, the head of the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, Oleksiy Reznikov, one of the four little pigs, said that the CV90 infantry fighting vehicles had arrived in Ukraine and were ready for battle. And I'm quoting, 2 IFVs CV90 of the Armed Forces of Ukraine appeared before our stronghold and started to shell it. One vehicle was hit by an RPG grenade, handheld anti-tank grenade launcher, when approaching our positions. The commander of the vehicle was killed. The rest of the crew ran away. Run to the hills, like Iron Maiden song. There was no assault forces inside the vehicles. The second IFV left. Retreat to the coast, a serviceman told the Sputnik correspondent. Oh man. This thing with retreat always reminds me of Dunkirk. Remember in the Second World War in Dunkirk, the Germans were pushing the Brits, the French, the whomever, and they cornered them in Dunkirk, and then remember that famous, not landing, but British sent their sailors, everybody went and picked up the army, and because Hitler stopped, 24 hours or 48 hours his attacks, otherwise he could have wiped them off. That's a different story. But anyway, when the Allies were losing, the famous order by the Winston Churchill was the troops that were pounded by the Germans, should advance to the coast. I always put myself in a good mood when I remember that one. Not retreat to the coast, advance to the coast. Kind of euphemisms, double speak, I don't know what to tell you. But the same here. The guys fled, advanced to Ukraine, towards Ukraine, the other IFV. So, according to him, this is the first such trophy obtained by the Russian military in the special operation area. The abandoned vehicle was subsequently dragged to the rear. The soldier noted that judging by the number, the CV90 was manufactured in 2018. So that's a new piece of hardware. The soldier highlighted that inside the vehicle, some of the Swedish inscriptions are duplicated in Russian. Oh, so there were maybe, or just maybe there was a Ukrainian. See, they didn't say Ukrainian, they say Russian. Okay, maybe there are Ukrainian crews, which anyway, or maybe we'll find out later. Earlier, the Russian Foreign Ministry warned the NATO countries that they are, and I'm quoting, playing with fire, end quote, by supplying weapons to Ukraine. The Kremlin noted that pumping Ukraine with weapons from the West does not contribute to the success of Russian-Ukrainian negotiations and will have a negative effect. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov also stated that the US and NATO are directly involved in the conflict in Ukraine, end quote, including not only the supply of weapons but also the training of personnel in the UK, Germany, Italy, and other countries. Yes, we know that. Are you going to do anything about it? No. Then keep your trap closed. That's my philosophy. If you're not going to achieve anything by just talking, why do you bother? Well, I know why. Because a lot of people are reading, a lot of people are listening. And instead of being propagandized only by one side, why are they not propagandized by the other side as well? I'm pretty sure more incidents like this will occur when other weapons will fall in the Russians' hands. And I'm predicting, I would say, that when those F-16s, if they still have time, will be delivered to the Ukrainians, at least one intact aircraft, fighter jet, will end up in the Russians' hands. Remember that incident with, was it at MiG-31, I think it was MiG-31, that one Soviet pilot landed it in Japan. Remember, NATO did not know anything about the MiG-31, and they were like, oh my god, what the hell is going on with it? What is that? And then this guy just defected. Bye-bye, here is a plane. And everybody was like, okay, let's look at it. And then they gave it back in pieces to the Soviet Union. So I'm assuming something like this will happen in Ukraine with an F-16. But even though F-16 is already dead, it's an old plane built in 1974 or something like this. Updates, upgrades, blah, 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 tra-la-la. That's why it's decommissioned, because it's still good against the new airplanes. Nevertheless, that's the update with this little infantry fighting vehicle. Swedish. Thank you very much. Swedish? Alright, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.